Well, greetings YouTube lovers. So today here we are with the G310GS. So I thought I'd do a quick review on this one. So this is my own 310GS that's kind of been relegated to the garage since I took over the V-Strom from Dad. I've had this bike now for 2.5 years. It's done 2,200 miles. I actually bought it as a winter bike. So far it's been pretty good. It's been pretty reliable. Not had too many issues with it. That's my son having a whiz around. But yeah, it's been not too bad. It's had a couple of recalls. This is a 2018 G310GS. Those that are aware, I'm sure you can find the specs and stuff online if you're interested in seeing any of that. I'll chuck that up now. Yeah, so 2.5 years over this for. It's done 2,200 miles. Like I say, reliability wise it's not been too bad. It did have a recall for the brakes. The bi-bray, these bi-bray calipers, they had a recall because apparently the coating on the pistons was known to not be very good in corrosive atmospheres, and they're known to seize. So they replaced the calipers. The recall was to replace the calipers. So that was done. The only other thing personally I've had done to it as well was the water pump. The water pump seal that had failed. So it was leaking fluid. It was leaking fluid on the floor when it was parked up on the left. And the other recall, of course, was I forgot to mention, was the side stand. When they first came out, there was an issue with the side stands. So apparently something to do with the mounting bracket onto the chassis. So that was modified, and it was recalled for that. So that was replaced too. Other than that, it's not been too bad reliability wise. Battery. The batteries are known to fail for no apparent reason, as batteries tend to do. My e-mountain bike just did that itself, so I had to get that replaced under warranty. But yeah, the battery in this one's been okay. I know the alternators can fail them as well, and some of them have an issue with starting as well. But this one's been not too bad. But other than that, so far it's been a pretty good bike. The Metz Tourance tyres, I'll probably cover that again a bit more later, but they're okay. They're pretty good on the road. Not so great off it, but certainly in the wet on the road, there's no problem with them on the road at all. They're pretty good in the wet and the dry. The bike certainly encourages you to ride it a lot sportier than perhaps it was originally designed to do, but yeah, as you can see, I fitted heated grips to it, 48 pounds, Oxford heated grips, absolutely perfect. They do the job nicely, and again, obviously in conjunction with the bark busters, more for looks and for winter protection than anything else. But they make a big difference in the winter for sure, keeping the wind and keeping the rain off your hands. Being a winter bike, it's made a big difference. And of course, if you're looking to go bashing some bark and go through trees and stuff, then it would be absolutely ideal. Certainly keep your hands protected, and certainly if you come off it, there's a good set of framework there for them. So. But yeah, I think it really improves the looks as well. Looks really good. Yeah, so fit the Jivy spotlights just to supplement the standard headlight. They're not the standard headlight is really not great at all in the dark. It's actually pretty useless. So the spots are there to help supplement that during the day. Sorry, supplement that at night. Yeah, I mean the bike is known to have a bit of a wobbly headlight, which I probably no doubt cover that a bit more later. But I know the newer model that's out for 2021 that has a new headlight, and that's getting addressed. So that's actually an LED unit. But yeah, I know people have put rubber bungs and stuff in here to try and stop it from rattling up and down. yeah, other than that, 34 horsepower. It's been good. It's been good for winter riding. It's been great. So anyway, well, that's enough. It's enough jabbering. We'll get out and have a run, and I'll feedback a bit more once we're rolling. Right, so here we are on the 310, like I said. So it's not a bad little bike, especially for the winter. So this is actually a replacement for the winter bike I had, which was a CRF 250L. Another great little bike. I'd say probably the CRF is probably better off-road than on it, in standard trim, apart from the tyres. As always, the standard tyres are always the issue. But I think with the 310 with 34 horsepower or 33 and a half, there or thereabouts, it's just got a little bit more get up and go compared to CRF 250. It was a bit lackluster, as it spends most of its majority of its life on the road, and needed something that was a little bit punchier. But this isn't bad. Like I say, 34 horsepower. The CRF 250L. I can't remember what the power of that was, but it was not a lot. Not a lot, blimey. So we'll just down to third gear here, and we'll just nip past. You do find with this that it does quite like to be thrashed. So that's So you do have to thrash it to get it to go as well. But it's quite happy. It's quite happy putting around. These little back roads are basically what it actually loves. It's really good. You can sling it around the corners. It's great. It's great fun. Suspension is a little bit soft, but as you'd expect for a small trail bike. But obviously this is A2 compliant. This 310. So, but for a winter bike, it's not bad at all. Comfort white. Oh, we'll stop at the top. So 60 mile an hour doing in fifth gear. It's quite happy. No problem at all. Throttle is fairly open, but we are going up quite a gradient at the minute. It averages 60 miles to gallon. Pretty much no matter how you ride it. There you go, 60 miles to gallon. It's not a bad little bike. Yeah, it's good on, like I say, it's good on fuel. 150 miles per tank, something like that. It's not a very big tank. But the mirrors are very good. A little bit of vibration at 60, but it's not too bad. I've fitted, as you obviously saw earlier, I've fitted these handguards, these blockbuster handguards, and they've made a massive. They make a big difference, certainly to the aesthetics. Obviously, it looks a lot butcher compared to without. But the biggest difference is obviously the wind protection. With the heated grips on, they work really well, keeping the wind and the rain off your hands. Definitely a worthwhile investment for sure. Heated grips wise, BMW do their own heated grips. But they're I can't remember how much they are, but I know they're daft money anyway. But a set of 48 pound Oxford touring grips, absolutely perfect, no problem at all. As you'll see in the video earlier, the previous footage there, obviously I've fitted these spotlights. As you can see, they've got them on at the minute. But these Jivvy spots just gives it a bit of extra visibility. But there are been a lot of complaints about the standard headlight, because it does tend to fluctuate quite a lot with the vibrations from the vibrations through the suspension of the bike. So I believe the new model, they've addressed that on the new 310 that's coming out end of this year, start of next year, the 2021 model. I know there's a few things on that one. I think they've made it Euro 5 compliant. So yeah, here we are. We're going up quite a steep hill here. So it's what, fifth gear. That is the throttle to the stop. It's quite happy. It's quite happy doing 60. It's not complaining. But sorry, as I was saying, the new one. That's yeah, still 34 horsepower, 33.5 to be precise. They've made that Euro 5 compliant. Obviously, they've changed the headlight to an LED headlight, given it LED indicators. They've also, I know you can get obviously the colour schemes are a little bit different as well. They've updated them for the new year. They do it in they do an anniversary model in black and yellow, which is quite nice. The rally model as well, which is quite cool. But yeah, so same power. They've adjusted they've got a different clutch. It's got a different clutch on it to try and stop the patter. They've also changed the fueling as well, so that if you are a new rider, they've made it look like an anti-stall device on it, so to help keep the revs up when you're crawling through traffic and pulling away. Just helping new riders out for that. But pretty much that's it. But you can really hustle this little thing along. It's about 60-65, but you do have to stir the gearbox to get it to go. But it does love to be thrashed. Wind protection wise, I find it okay. I'm 6'4". If you're new to the channel, I'm 6'4". Got plenty of room here. The cutout of the tank fits well with my legs. My knees are slightly bent. You feel quite locked in with the seat, the back of the seat to the front of the seat to the tank. It's you know, you're quite hemmed in. There's not a massive amount of movement to move, but to be honest, you don't really need to. It's actually quite a comfy bike to ride. I've actually got another bikini fairing to go on here, just a clip-on unit, and that for me that does make a big difference on the wind blast. But I took it off the day while I was cleaning the bike, and I just haven't put it back on again yet. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a good fun little bike for the winter. Obviously the specs for the brakes and stuff have all remained the same for the new bike, but it's fun. You can ride it quite hard. Like I said, the suspension is a little bit soft. The brakes work quite well. They're not the sharpest, but they do the job. Braided lines are standard, of course. Is it by Bray, I think they're called? Yeah, something like that, by Bray. Probably shouldn't look at it while I'm going along. But yeah, they're okay. I mean, it's good enough to lock the back wheel up anyway, on the rear, and the fronts are good enough to stop. It's not really a performance bike, of course, so the brakes are probably adequate for the performance of the bike, to say the least. So here we go, third gear, 37 mile an hour, 46, 48, 50. Take it on red light. Clutch this gear change. One thing about the gearbox in this, it does change well, and it does, like I say, it does like to be bike does like to be thrashed. You know, 70. And the brakes work fine. Man, if you could have smell-o-vision, you wouldn't believe how stinky this moving pile of manure is. Can we get past there? I don't think we can. Not really. Moving over for better visibility. Yeah, we'll go there. That's us back up to cruising speed again. So it will sit at in sixth gear, doing 60-65. I have had over 80 mile an hour out of it, but that was downhill. I think if you're going to use it for commuting every day, it's certainly a great bike through town. The only criticism I would have is that if you're trying to keep up with the traffic, certainly on the dual carriageway at 70 mile an hour, it can be a little bit tedious. But it will do it. But it's certainly happier at 60-65. But yeah, once you start getting up into the 70s, it starts getting a little bit, stretching it a little bit. You've certainly got to change down gear to overtake. Didn't quite have enough torque to get past there before we got up to this corner. But it's, yeah, I quite enjoy riding it. These did have a warranty recall on the brakes. First and foremost, the brakes were recalled because of the corrosion on the pistons and stuff that could take place within the calipers. So mine, this has had its recall now as well. So they replaced the front and rear calipers. Although they said they were okay, I think it's a standard matter of course that they've replaced all of them, I think, on every bike, regardless. The only other issue I had was the seal on the seal on the water pump was leaking, which I believe could be an issue. I know some folk have had that issue as well. I believe some people have had issues with batteries. I've not had issues with batteries on this at all, other than forget when I leave the spotlights on and the battery goes flat when you come back to it. But yeah, it's been pretty reliable. But it does get ridden, being the smaller engine, it does get ridden pretty hard. But it's certainly taken all the abuse that I can throw at it so far. I believe another issue with them as well is is stalling. They can stall quite easily when you start it, or they don't start very well. This bike kind of goes back to the old bikes of old, where with carburetors, or you have to give it a little bit of throttle when you start it. It certainly does seem to be happier. Just a quarter throttle when you start it from cold or hot or cold, and it does the job. It seems to be quite happy with that. But yeah, 60 miles per gallon out of this bad boy, you can't complain. Yes, this is what this little bike's all about. Just exploring these little back roads and not really knowing where they go. It's great. It really is. It's got enough power to keep you, certainly keep you sensible. Although you can have a lot of fun. You can have a lot of fun thrashing it. Kind of ride it a bit like a supermoto. I find that the brakes, yeah, like I was saying earlier, the brakes they're not bad, but they're not fantastic. I do find that you do haul on the front brake pretty hard. It's definitely a two or a three finger job, even with the braided lines. I mean, I find that using the back brake to help support that makes a massive difference. Using the rear brake is just to steer the bike into bends as well. Some of the slower bends, you just use the back brake just to pull it in a little bit, and it does make a big difference. I have no idea where I am, but we'll go this way. Yeah, I bought when I had the CRF 250, I kind of bought it for this and for winter riding. But I found the seat on the CRF 250 was rock hard. It's very much like a motocross bike, whereas this is a lot softer, a lot more plush. I did change the exhaust. You'll see on the I've got another video on my on the channel. I put a Dominator exhaust on it, and it sounded good. Single since I come motocross bike, but it was pretty loud, and I decided that it was actually a little bit too offensive, a little bit too loud, got a bit drony, so I took it off. Probably, I know you can get an acrophobic cam for it. That's certainly a lot better. This is obviously the motorsport colours, which I quite like. It reminds you of being 17 again, when it's all about momentum, keep the throttle pinned, and carry your corner speed. I honestly have no idea where this road goes. It's surprising how much fun you can have on a bike that's only got 34 horsepower. Still, it's not that speed on this. I've got to say, it's a bit of a nightmare to work on. There's so many Ooh, down to the fourth. There's so many nuts and bolts on it, and screws. It's actually a bit ridiculous once you have to start getting into it and taking it apart. Don't make me stop. Oh, we're going for it. I'm going for it. Keep the momentum up. Keep a lit. It's a mini GS adventure. That's what it is. It does encourage you to take liberties a little bit, I've got to say. Oh. Down the gear, you don't even need to use the brakes. Just go off about 20 miles an hour. Just from changing gear. This bike probably gets ridden far harder than it should do. I can't go up that cycle trail over the top of that hill. That'd be good. That's the thing about Scotland, is you don't get many. We don't really have bridleways or public rights of way. So if you want to go exploring, you kind of, unfortunately, I don't know what to say here, but you're kind of doing it a little bit illegally because you can't really. You know, a lot of the fire roads, they're all Forestry Commission owned, so you're kind of struggling. So either A, you've got permission by a landowner, or you get permission by the council. You'd think that as vast as Scotland is, you'd be able to go green laning, wouldn't you? I know certainly on the General Wades Road, you can go up parts of that, but that's a fair trek from Aberdeenshire. All the little fellas buzzing around. Let's do a little bit of a play on. Let's do a little bit of a play on this. But we'll follow them around the grass. But hopefully I won't fall off, because it's really slippery in the wet. These tyres, they're really not. They're really not great at all. They're quite. They're really quite slick in the wet. Hello. But we'll have a bit of a. Oh Christ! Yeah, definitely needs. It definitely needs knobbly tyres. I should be wearing bike boots, really. Can't even brake with that sliding everywhere. Oh, it's so slippy. Yeah, as you can see, it's not making much grip at all. You can turn the ABS off. I'm going to get overtaken here in a minute. You can turn the ABS off, but I think given how slippery this is, oh, he's coming. He's coming. Oh God, it's so slidey. I don't even think using the second gear is going to make much difference. It's just not enough. It's just not enough grip, even if you keep. God, I can't tell how slidey this is. I don't know how I'm keeping in front of him. He's on a little stomp. A little stomp 90. A little juice box 90, and I can't. I'm struggling to keep in front of him here. God, it's so slippery. Oh, that's. Giggling like a girl. Let's go round again. So yeah, as you can see, these Metzer turrets, they're not the best in wet. not the best in wet conditions. Wet, muddy conditions are bloody useless. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm still on this. Whoa. That's flat, look, I can't even get grip there, it's that slidey. Oh, he's right behind me now as well. So yeah, nothing like a... This is wet slidey grass, as you can see. God, I'm knackered, absolutely knackered. Thankful for the BMS. No, it's gonna get me. Yeah, decent set of tyres. It's gonna overtake me. Oh, there it goes. No. 34 horsepower. I can't get out with that 6 horsepower. A bit of fun. Oh, I can't stop. Let's get him. Let's get him. Try and find some clean grass. Smooth. Smooth as a key. No. Oh man. Front tyre's actually not been too bad so far, but the rear, just as soon as you put any power down, it's just away. Oh my god, look at this. I swear he's turning out on purpose. I can't catch up with him now, he's gone. So yes, anyway, the GS, suspension wise, it's can be a little bit soft on the road. Oh man, it can be a bit, it's a bit soft on the road on the, as far as the suspension is concerned, but off-road is okay, but it'll soon bottom out over anything more, a little bit more. God, it's so slidey here. It'll bottom out on anything that's a bit more substantial. Bumps wise, can't get any traction up there at all. Yeah, so if you can use it off-road permanently, obviously a set of TKC 80s or Anarchy Wilds or whatever you want to throw on it, certainly better than oh, he's away, I'm not going to catch him now. Yeah, anything that's a bit more aggressive than your standard Tourance tyres, because they're not designed for this. It'll be right in the dry, but this is horrendous. It's no CRF 250R, which is a motocross bike, that's for sure. And yeah, it's starting to struggle a little bit now. But yeah, if you're going to use this off road, I mean, I'd have no hesitations in taking it green laning at all. If you were going to upgrade some of the suspension components, certainly I know that obviously, oh Christ, that was close. I know that Rally Raid do some good upgrades on these, and it's if you could, whoa, nearly. And if you can use it off-road, then I would definitely recommend that is the case. Green laning, it's definitely worthwhile. My CRF 250L, what I had, that was actually better off-roading standard trim than this is. Again, the tyres are the biggest. God, it's so slidey. Again, the tyres are the biggest issue. I'm going to have to stop before I fall off, which would be amusing, I'm sure. But anyway. There we go. I'm absolutely shattered. Go on, off you go. Beaten by a 7-year-old. As you can see, you might as well just ride him on slicks. But anyway, there we go. Yeah, if you're going to do anything a bit more aggressive off-road, certainly the tyres are the first thing to go. But that's Metzel Tourance's. Yeah, wet muddy fields, not great. If you're taking it easy, no problem. Truck it up the 7-year-old, forget it. But good fun. So yeah, like I was saying, the Rally Raid stuff. Obviously, you get the bit of forks, and give a bit of forks, a bit of shock, and they fit bar risers as well. That's the other thing that's the problem with this as well, is the bars are too low to be standing up. So if you're going to you want to fit some heavier duty bars when you drop it, because they're going to bend, and certainly God, I'm knackered. Fit some heavier duty bars and obviously bar risers as well, so you can stand up, and certainly ditch the rubber inserts as well at the pegs. But there you go. Right, well, that's a little foray of off-roading on the G310GS following a 7-year-old. Catch you soon. I've been up here once already. I don't think I'm going to get up there a second time. Especially now he's... Here we go. No, I'm stuck. I can't. Ow! Bloody nettles. Look. Well, I fancy trying that again. Oh. Yeah, TKC80s is what I need. Oh man.